Well, hey, good morning, all. This is Patricia, and I'm traveling for history. I thought I would share with you the uh, uh, breakfast I prepare myself to go out and film. Because understand, when I go out to film, I'm filming all day. So, anyway, let me show you some of the ingredients for my breakfast. And here are the powders and seeds. So we have here coconut oil powder, MCT oil, which stunningly enough is a powder, and it's I think it's maybe like a derivative of the coconut oil powder. So, but this has some other pieces that this lacks. In a future video, I'm going to talk about why I take all of these, and actually a few more, in capsule form for all the health benefits they offer. This is flaxseed. Those are chia seeds. Beetroot. Maca. This collagen. This is pomegranate powder. This big one in the back is pea protein powder. The one above it that's not labeled is moringa. This is horse chestnut. And this is organic spirulina. They're all actually organic. And all are vegan except for the collagen, which has a bovine piece to it, which is a cow. I'm not vegan. I'm a carnivore. But I just thought I would let you know that. All right, so into the fridge I go. All right, so here we have baby spinach. Arugula. Now, it could be, well, it's going to be arugula today, or it could be kale. It depends upon which one the grocery store has. And when I was there last, they had a ton of these and zero kale. But arugula and kale have similar nutrients, so I don't see it as I'm giving up really anything by having that. And strawberries today. Who doesn't love strawberries? Am I right? So I'll go ahead and put this to the side, because the first thing I have to do is I have to start with 2 cups of water. It's very handy that I have a water spigot in my refrigerator. Means the water is, besides the fact, always cold. Oops. Be helpful if I took the lid off the blender. But not only is the water always cold, but also it's filtered. Tap water tastes like chlorine. I hate that. I just hate that flavor. It's not a flavoring that does anything for me. All right. Next up is the spinach. I don't measure the spinach. I do measure the potions and powders, but I don't measure. I had to get me another one of these spinach containers out of the fridge. The other one really didn't have much left in it. So as I continue to eyeball it, so why did I decide to change my eating habits. Because I can assure you, I haven't always done this. You know, growing up, I ate a lot of the cereal my mother did. Did you too? She liked shredded wheat. Oh my God, that stuff's gross. Gross. It's like eating hay. That's what I always thought of it. And but she loved that stuff. And then frosted shredded wheat came out, and then she loved that because my mother had a sweet tooth. She also had a salty tooth. She absolutely loved chips and potato chips. So grape nuts was another one of her favorites. I still love grape nuts to this day. I don't eat them much anymore. I don't buy them anyway. And when Captain Crunch with Crunch Berries came out, she began buying that for me. So, I'd start my day with a bunch of sugar. So that's really awful because, you get the spike of sugar and then in school it would just drop. Now, back when I was in school, lunches were not a bunch of processed garbage as much as these days. And Mom would often send me with lunch anyway. So beautiful all the way around. So I decided to change my eating habits because I'm pushing 60 now, and my health level has been atrocious for a lot of years. Well, most of my life, so for decades. Eating all that sugary, salty, yummy stuff, I have, gained a ridiculous amount of weight. And I also developed diabetes, borderline level of blood pressure. It's not high, but it's not low. It's right on the mark, it's edging up. And, my mother certainly had high blood pressure. Asthma, thanks to my weight gain, that is a thing. Let me see, what else? I have glaucoma, which is exacerbated by diabetes, having a high sugar level. So, and because of the weight gain, it makes my joints hurt more. There is no win-win with eating food that isn't good for the body. So you may want to keep that in mind as any one of us continues to enjoy that food. I gave up all processed sugar on December 11, 2023. That is 2 weeks before Christmas, because I knew that if I waited until after Christmas, after the holidays, which is typical, I didn't think I would be successful. So I decided to start 2 weeks before Christmas. That was after a weekend binge that I made The Lost Weekend. It's just a movie about an alcoholic's life. Looked like child's play. All right. Next thing up is arugula. Arugula or kale. Very, very, very bitter. But I'll show you what I do to cut the bitterness because it's really awful. It's terrible. I don't like to put as much arugula in as I do spinach because it's the spinach just tastes better than the arugula. Put those back in the fridge. And now let's start adding the powders and seeds. Now I moved the pea protein powder over here because it's 7 pounds. The container is 7 pounds with the with the protein powder in it. So I moved it over here so I wouldn't have to pick it up and show you. So 1 scoop gives me 24 grams of protein. It is a level scoop. It takes a sweet time to get out of it. And so, since I drink this once a day, that's all I have to put in. Coconut oil powder. There is actually no. This is just the order I use. I put it in. It doesn't matter which order it goes in. This is the coconut oil powder, and that's the size of the scoop. What does it say? 1 scoop is equal to 1.5 teaspoons, or 10 grams. What's the pea protein powder? 1 level scoop is 33 grams. There's nothing about teaspoons or tablespoons in there. This is beetroot powder. Now the serving size is 1 tablespoon. I don't really care for this one as much, but I want the nutrients. So I don't put a full tablespoon in. I put in 1/8 of a teaspoon. If I use the full tablespoon, it also colors it. Now, you know, this is a pretty color, no doubt about it. There you go, no glare now. But at the end of the day, I don't like it, and I can definitely taste the flavor to it. So yeah, I just don't consume it. Don't put as much in it. Now this is the horse chestnut powder. This is actually 1/8 of a teaspoon. Make the lid go on. It actually, that little thing has to be right in the center. You can't really see that, can you? Well, oh, there we go. It has to be in the center, or the lid doesn't go flat. And if this lid is not flat, this stuff hardens like a rock and is totally unusable. Been there, done that. So don't be me. Don't do that stupid thing. This is the MCT oil. And the serving size is going to be ornery today, I can see, is 3/4 of a teaspoon. This is maca. It is tan. It looks a little green in the video, but it is that's like the color of sand. You want to keep this stuff airtight as well, because this gets hard as a rock, but you can break this apart. You can't break apart the horse chestnut. This stuff smells great. Does it taste great? Not to me. This unlabeled container is moringa. Has a beautiful green color to it. It's it smells like the kind of grass you mow. Does that taste good? No, it doesn't. Separately, I don't like the flavor of most of these, to be honest. Pomegranate powder. This is a lovely pink color. But what I found with this is that it also tends to harden in clumps, but I can break it. Excuse me, I can break it apart, which is good. This is 1 teaspoon, and I'll have all this information in my blog, including the metric version, because I don't know that. I live in the U.S. and we did not convert to the metric system back in the early 70s. I have a video on that. I'll put a link in the description below, because stupid reasons. Okay, this is the collagen, and this is the scoop size. 1 scoop is approximately 8 grams, just shy of 8 grams. Organic spirulina. Where's the name of it? There we go. And this is 3.3 grams, or 1 teaspoon. It is a beautifully dark green color. Now, the container says 1 teaspoon, but I've read online up to 3. But I follow the recommendations of the container. But early on this journey, since my body was not used to these nutrients, I did do up to the 3 teaspoons to jumpstart my body into expecting this stuff. Flaxseed. The recommended serving size is 2 tablespoons. This is a tablespoon right here. I only use 1. You can see the color is it's a light brown. Put the lid. There's the lid. I only use 1 tablespoon to conserve it. As you can imagine, these powders and seeds are not inexpensive. Although I will say, the chia seeds, this is a 2-pound container, 2 pounds or 907 grams. And 1 pound at my grocery store, and which one are you? Yep. This is a 1 pound container, one that has the beetroot in it. 1 pound is 567 grams. So it's half as much, right? It's half as much. And at my grocery store, it's very expensive for 1 pound. I can get 2 pounds on Amazon for less than the price of the 1 pound. So I like my grocery store, but I'm not going to spend more for less. So the chia seeds, I use 1 tablespoon. The recommended amount is 2.5, and again, it's for economy. I'm trying to save money. So those are the powders I put in. So now we get to put in the strawberries. Now these strawberries are pretty big. I mean, look at the size of that bad boy. That's, this is the smallest one in there, and this is the biggest. No, I think this one is actually the biggest. Holy cow. So, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there are 9 in here. So I put all of them in. Also, I don't hull them. The stem part has a lot of nutrients in it. I'm not going to taste that at all in the blender. So I'm just going to toss them in and enjoy the nutrients of these as well. I don't just dump them in. I don't know why. There's something satisfying about watching them hit the powders and all that and pushing down the greens in there. Because it takes little to amuse me, thankfully. Yep. I have fruits over here. I put in a banana. Don't you love the sound of that? Now, I told you that the arugula or the kale, very, very bitter. Doesn't have a good flavor whatsoever. Just, ugh. So, how do I cut the bitterness? I use oranges. Citrus will cut the bitterness of the arugula or kale. So I use oranges because I like the flavor. They're sweet, yum for sweet. And by the way, what I have noticed with the diabetes and eating fruit that is sweet, that has not mattered. That hasn't affected my diabetes at all. My blood sugar does not spike. So hallelujah for that. I will put in 2, could be 3, and that's because of the how sweet they are. Sometimes they're not that sweet. Sometimes they're not that juicy. I mean, I'm using navel oranges. Navel oranges are typically bigger and typically sweeter than regular oranges, and I have not found that to be true with these oranges. My grocery store had a special, it ends today, a special for $1 off a bag of the navel oranges, which of course I bought 2 of them. Now, this is going to look awful, but maybe. But I've never been able to put my thumb in or fingers in and just start peeling an orange. I've never been able to do that. Just never. So I bite into it as if it were an apple to start the peel. So if that's gross to you, turn away now. And there we go. You don't want to put this part in because it's very bitter. And it does affect. I did try it once. Just don't do that. If I don't have oranges on hand, pink grapefruit is quite nice. I don't have any pink grapefruit. But pink grapefruit is sweeter than regular grapefruit. Don't mistake that for being sweet, but it is sweeter than, and it has a nice flavor. So sometimes I'll use that. If they don't have any oranges at the grocery store, sometimes I'll buy the pink grapefruit instead and use that. I only need 1 of those. They're huge. So there's that. I do have a tendency to pull the pith off, but I really don't have to because I don't taste that either in there. I also don't tend to break it up by section all that much. I think by the time I get to the oranges, I just want to be drinking the doggone thing. So that could be why. Oops, I missed a part of the outer skin. So that's 1. And again, if the thought of watching me do this grosses you out, now is a good time to pause, or to look away. Pause the video, just, that wouldn't work at all, would it now? Nope. If I paused my video and did it, that would work. Sometimes the skin can be trickier to peel if it's thin like that. You see that? Compared to this side, which is thicker, and it's easier to get my thumb under that. As I'm peeling these things and all that, I don't know if you ever think about stuff like this, but I wonder, those folks who tried these different things off the vine and off of trees and out of the ground, do they ever think they could die from all that? Because we know that people died. You don't want to eat some things. The horse chestnut, for instance, powder that I use, the chestnut itself is what you consume. The leaves can kill you. So, that's kind of an awful thought. But anyway, I do think about things like that. So you can put in the comments below if I'm just weird, or if you've thought about that too. So that's 2. What else do we put in? The oranges, the banana. I also add 1 more cup of water. As you can see, there's a lot in the blender here. And the water I put in is way at the bottom. To make sure that I still have enough water to make it safe for my blender, I put in another whole cup. I always dry off the bottom because it goes into my cupboard. I don't want to ruin the bottom of the cupboard. Put the lid on nice and tight. And let me just, Spanish leaf. And this is a Vitamix blender. I had wanted it for quite a long time. It was in my cart on Amazon. It was about, I think at this point it was $264. It was, it's not a refurb, but, excuse me, it was, I guess, an undesirable one in the Vitamix. Undesirable is not the right word. It's just the lowest price one in the Vitamix family. So it was in my cart and in my cart and in my cart and, well, just down the line in my cart. I had, and then Prime Days, when Prime Days came around, this thing dropped to a better price, 100 something, 150, 175. It came down, excuse me, quite a bit. And I had a lot of credit card points. I had never spent them from the initial welcome offer. So using the points, using the discount, thankfully, from Amazon, I decided to pull the trigger. And at the end of the day, I think I paid $34 for this thing. Money well spent. All right, so cover your ears. This is kind of loud. I do like to blend it for a while to make sure everything gets mixed together and everything is pulverized. So I use these plastic cups. I have 3 different ones. This is my favorite, avocado. I do love me a pun. I don't actually like to eat avocados, but I just think this is adorable. And he's carrying something, maybe a red avocado, or maybe a Haas. I don't know. I don't eat avocado, so I don't know. Let me pour this in. I'm not going to pour it here. I pour it over the kitchen sink. By the way, this is fairly heavy. It's everything in here is just heavy, and the container. This is plastic, but it's very substantial. So yay for that. You can see the color. Don't want to tip it too far; it'll pour out. But if I don't put the lid on just right, it will spill down my shirt. Not an attractive look. There you go. There's the color. Now let's take a swig of this stuff and see how it tastes. I still taste the arugula, but I can make do with this because it's not horrible. I'll drink it fast. Alrighty, well that's my morning routine for breakfast, and as I said, I'll create another video on what each of these powders and seeds brings to the table. Alrighty, well, this is Patricia. I'm Traveling for History. Until I see you again, hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. Thanks for watching. Bye now.